Yo, what's up everyone, CJ right here. Welcome to my channel. If you're new on my channel, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so you'll be updated when I drop a new video. Okay, so today I'm gonna be doing the part 2 on how I EQ my kick. Yep, on how I EQ my kick for Afrobeat precisely. And if it's not for Afrobeat, you could also use this idea for some other genre of music. So this is a pack here that I actually made free for you all. I dropped a video earlier on getting this drum pack. It's actually free, so you just need to get it, or you just need to click on the link below and get it. And if you have gotten it already, just open it and let's proceed with the tutorial. So I'm gonna open the FLP pack. It contains all the percussions I used and the precise kick as well, and I did a little bit tweaking on it by panning and making it smooth, so that if you just download the pack, it will be very easy for you to use. Okay, so we already have our kick right here, and we're gonna take it out totally. So I'm gonna play the whole instrumental without the kick, and it sounds this way. Alright, and right here the rolls come in. Okay, so without wasting much time, the first time I did the tutorial, I was talking about using this knob, which is the out, for EQing your kick, and the previous kick I used was not the same as this one currently. This one sounds this way. Yes, and I think there's already an EQ on it already, so I'm gonna take it out already. Okay, so now when you have your kick right like this, like I said in the previous tutorial, I make sure that this wavy look doesn't pass this line right here. But if you notice, it has already done a little bit of movement right here, so it's gonna look more, I call it heavy. No, not really heavy, I call it fat. Yeah, fat. Like this kick is a little bit fat, so what I want it is, I don't want it to be too fat. I increase my output, this out right here, down to this level, which is 28% or 30%. You can see it right here on this pins panel. So I increase the output down to that 30%, so it could cut out some of these wavy lines which I don't want in it. If you make it to be 0% and it has this whole wavy, which I call it fat, which it looks very fat, the kick is gonna be very full. And when you're using this kind of a kick that is totally fat, you wouldn't want to have a lot of percussions and a lot of sounds, because the kick will fill up the space. But if it's an instrument whereby you have few percussions and few sounds, you want your kick to be fat. And if it's an instrument that has a lot of solos, guitars, keyboard, and a lot of percussions and rolls, you would want your kick to be extremely tight by utilizing this out knob here. If you have not watched the first tutorial on how to EQ your kick, don't forget to go check them out. This is actually the part 2, and then you could just learn how I use this output here to EQ my kick as the first pattern style. So it depends on how I want my instrumentals to sound like I do my EQing. You remember, you must always have the type of sound you want before you open your FL Studio. But sometimes also producers just open the FL Studio and whatever comes in, they get it. You know how it goes. When you start making the sound, you begin to get some more sounds, and you get to know how you really want the sound to go like. Alright, so now I'm gonna leave the output at 0. Remember, you could use this style, increasing it or decreasing it, or put it in at any percentage you want it to be. That was the first tutorial, so I'm not gonna go back to the first tutorial explanation again. I'm just gonna go straight to EQ. Now I put my kick on mixer channel 4, and then I'm gonna input my EQ. Now for me to explain every knob in this EQ, that is for another tutorial later on. So the first thing I want to do is this last knob right here, I take it down to till it gets to this button, which is high mid, which is 147 hertz. Why did I do that? Because okay, I'm gonna take it away first. Let me put it back at normal. Now if I hit the kick on my keyboard, it sounds this way. You can see that it has some little faded color at that edge, and I don't want it to sound. Remember, if I take it away, it's gonna give it a little bit more precision and sharpness. Did you notice? Did you spot the difference? Yes, that is the first thing I do when I add my EQ. Now the other three knobs I'm gonna be using is this one, which is on the sub, the bass, or the low mid. I don't tamper with these three, I leave them the way they are, but sometimes you could play around with it and see how it sounds like. So if my instrument is lacks percussions and lacks sounds, like just few sounds and few percussion, I make sure I increase my sub down to this level. You could increase it too high, but it's gonna glitch, it's gonna be too heavy, too fat. So I take it down to this halfway level, putting it on this level, and it sounds this way. Yes. Damn, why is my system glitching? I'm really sorry about that, guys. Okay, this is how the kick sounds like. Yeah, so when I increase it, sorry about the other time, when I increase it down to the sub to this level, making sure this circle is a little bit above this line, and making sure it's at this third line right here, because I want the sub to be full. It sounds this way, you get? But if you want it to be more fat, you drag it forward. You can drag it forward down to this pattern, which is the bass, and increase it a little bit high, and it sounds this way. Yes, if you notice, it looks a little bit full. Remember, it depends on how you want your kick to be. If I want my kick to be to have a lot of fat, I increase it down to this level. I don't take it forward, I just leave it right here and increase it, and it looks fat enough. If it begins to glitch too much, I reduce it a little bit. And then if I want my kick to have a lot of punchy feel, it will be very, very sharp, I reduce my sub. I just take it down this way, and then for the low mid, I increase it down to this bar. Now it looks like a little bit like a mountain or like a lump, and it sounds this way. Yes, that is how it sounds. If I want the fatness to be totally reduced, I hold on to this and I drag it all the way to this part. It makes the kick extremely sharp and precise, and this is how it sounds like. Yeah, but you wouldn't want that. It's only on rare cases that you make your kick sound that way, so you want to bring it back to this edge and just leave it this way. So this is actually my settings. I leave it right here. Actually, I use these settings for my percussion if my percussions are extremely full. So I'm gonna put my kick now at 4/4 bar, and we're gonna play the whole instrumental and see how it sounds like. This is how it sounds like. Yes, it looks sharp and sharp enough. But if I want my kick to be fat, I take this up all the way to this level. If you don't record, just fast forward the video backwards, sorry about that, and I reduce the mid down to this level, and my kick is gonna have a little bit of fatness, and this is how it sounds like. Now I'm sure you noticed the difference. You totally did, of course you did. And I hope you guys learned something. You know, if you notice that it is glitching, you reduce it a little bit. Alright guys, that is all I could teach you for the part 2 of EQing your kick. I'm gonna drop the part 3 on how to EQ your kick. I hope you guys learned something. If you're new on my channel, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so you'll be updated when I drop a new video. Don't forget to support your Nigerian producer CEEJAYBEATZ, and also hit the notification bell so you get to be updated when I drop a new video. If you don't get to be updated, you might get to be asking me questions again of tutorial that I already dropped, and it's gonna be a little bit stressful me going to research the video out for you. So just hit the notification bell, so anytime I drop a new tutorial, you'll be updated, and when I drop a new video, you also be updated as well. If you have any questions, don't forget to drop your questions below. And if you want this pack, this free drum pack, it is free and available for you to use, and it's not yet time for you to go. Alright, it's actually time for you to go. All you just need to do is actually subscribe and hit the notification bell, and also share this video to your friends if you have actually learned something. Alright guys, peace out and CJ.